Wine expert Sarah McKee had never heard of a person being killed over a bottle of wine. Killed by a bottle? Sure. She was from Glasgow, Scotland, where broken bottles were used as weapons in pub brawls. A broken bottle jabbed into the throat could be persuasive as well as deadly. But in all her 41 years, 20 of them working in the wine industry, she'd never heard of anyone being killed because of a bottle, and never in Northern California wine country, where she had lived for the past 2 years. People in Sonoma were too civilized to commit physical violence. At least, that's what she had assumed. Until today. Sarah drove to the Boys Hot Springs crime scene on the northern outskirts of Sonoma, all the while wondering what had happened and why, because she had been summoned by her law enforcement friend to assist in the initial investigation of a homicide. All Sarah had been told about the murder was that the victim may have had something to do with wine. In Sonoma, that wasn't saying much. Sarah motored into the parking lot of an apartment building, a block from the highway, parked, extricated herself from her Triumph Spitfire convertible, and tossed her baseball cap onto the passenger seat. As she raked her shoulder-length hair into a semblance of its former style, she wondered if she would ever be able to get out of her tiny car like a movie star, all legs and grace. So far, she hadn't achieved such a feat. No matter how hard she tried, she always found it a struggle to rise from the sports car, what with her generous figure and long legs, and the way her weight was headed these days. She guessed the extrication was only going to get more difficult. She skirted 3 Sonoma County law enforcement vehicles parked helter-skelter near the sidewalk, and then climbed the external stairway to apartment 317. The apartment was constructed like a motel, with the walkways and doors on the exterior of the building. No need for protection from the elements, as it rarely rained in wine country. A section of the balcony had been cordoned off with yellow "Do Not Cross" tape. In the cordoned-off section, one apartment vibrated with the bass of a hip-hop song so loud that it induced her to clamp her hands over her ears. Grimacing, she ducked under the tape and plowed through the noise to the next door, all the while fighting to catch her breath. She really did have to start going to the gym. The door opened. Detective Kelly Miller, her husband's steady customer and now her friend, waved her in. Sarah smiled at her auburn-haired pal, whose petite frame looked hippie and squat in her green uniform trousers. The pants were snug in all the wrong places for a woman and cut too short. The bulky utility belt only made things worse. In her police get-up, Kelly looked like a kid standing in a swim ring. "Hey, that was quick, Sarah," Kelly greeted. "Just got here myself. Happy to oblige." "Gotta put these on, though. Sorry." Kelly held out a white hazmat jumpsuit, complete with booties. "The crime scene investigation unit has done a preliminary walkthrough, but we're waiting on the warrant to do the forensics. The new boss is a stickler. No shirt, no shoes, no service, huh?" Sarah commented, reminded of the signs in the many restaurants her husband had worked in on his way up. "Something like that." Kelly stepped into the legs of her jumpsuit. Sarah pulled on her garment as well. She would do anything for her friend Kelly. Women on their own in Sonoma had to stick together. There were so few of them. She knew firsthand what a lonely, isolating existence it could be flying solo in this foodie paradise of film festivals, pool parties, and fundraisers. Sarah wasn't exactly single, but she often attended events alone, since her chef, husband, Mateo, worked most nights and holidays. Over the years, she had learned to develop a social network outside her marriage, just to keep her sanity. She pulled the zipper to her collarbone and held out her arms. "How do I look?" she asked.